So today is July 6th of 2025, and I'm just sitting there chilling and thinking to myself, man, I really do not have any other anime to watch after the one anime I just finished. And then boom, on my YouTube recommended, it shows me this show called Gachiakuta. I go watch it, and my god, I was enamored by it. So much to the point where I even started reading the manga once the anime finished. Though that's not the portion we're here to talk about because I don't want to give you guys spoilers. Everything from its story to its art style to the way it presents itself to the atmosphere to the world building. Oh my god, everything about it I just love. And this video is for me to talk about what I love about it. Hello, my name is James. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. This is the channel where I get to talk about all of my hyperfixations. So if you like what you see here, there might be other things you might be interested in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe in order to see more. And check out my social media in the descriptions where I post some of my artwork. Today is a special video because I get to talk about something that's very brand new at the moment and I have been loving for a long while now. This is why I love Gachiakuta. Now, in order to talk about the series of Gachiakuta, we have to start with its origin. Gachiakuta was made by Kei Orana. Growing up, one of her favorite anime series was Soul Eater, created by Asushi Okubo. Hey, we talked about that guy. And one of her favorite anime studios was Studio Bones. Later in life, she would end up creating two one-shot mangas that went by the names of Nokase and Shikido, and both of those mangas would end up winning awards. Later on, she would end up being the assistant to one of her favorite mangakas, Asushi Okubo, while he was working on Fire Force. While Fire Force was close to finishing publication, Kei Orana would start her own manga series at the time, and it would release on February 22nd, 2022, where it would be based around street culture, post-apocalyptic science, and using trash as a weapon. Now that we got the origins out of the way, let's talk about the character. My god, do I adore the characters of Gachiakuta. Like, when the first 3 episodes of the series dropped and I was introduced to the 4 main characters, I literally mentally had to tell myself to remember these 4 names because I was already interested in who they are as characters. Alright, let's talk about our main protagonist, Rudo. Rudo is a spherite who comes from the upper yard, but not the cleanest area of the upper yard. I'm talking about the dirty side of the upper yard. After being accused for a murder he didn't commit on his father figure, he gets sent to the pit where all the trash is left. And because of this, he swears revenge on everyone on the upper yard. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be talking about the manga. This is going to be anime only because I don't want to give any spoilers to people. With that being said, Rudo is the most rageful character I have seen in a while. Because of his burning passion to get revenge on the spherites above in the upper yard, he lets his rage fuel most of the decisions he makes. I mean, the one time we see his rage fully take over is when, after the fight with Amo, he literally punches the shit out of her. And I mean, like, the first punch, it's justifiable, it's reasonable, but the punches after it, yeah, if they didn't stop him, he was definitely gonna kill her. But it seems like after that encounter with Amo, he starts to get a lot more chill and calmer, though it's a process, not a given. And not only that, but the series showcases how Rudo is just a kid at times. I mean, he goes crazy for sweets. He genuinely does not know how to smile. He gets easily amazed by things he's never seen before, like a kid discovering something for the first time. So there's like a balance to Rudo where it showcases, oh, he's a rageful monster, but he's still a kid. And I really like how this series showcases that. Next, we got the 3 characters who are kind of like the main cast since they're always around Rudo. First, we got Engine, who is kind of like an older brother figure to Rudo in a way. The guy's hilarious and is like really goofy at times. Like, the whole first season, I think I've only seen this man fight once. Next, we got Zanka, who is supposed to be Rudo's mentor, despite being 17 years old. Now, Zanka is a very capable fighter. He just has the issue of running into very strong people being the masochistic crackhead named Jabber, but his story is that he wants to get stronger because he doesn't want to be mediocre. And the reason why he doesn't want to be considered mediocre is because he was bested by someone who is naturally gifted, and he wants to showcase that his hard work can beat that gifted person's talent. Next up is Rio, and in the first season, there's not really much you know about Rio. I mean, she is a girl's girl with a tomboyish attitude, and ever since the Amo memory fight and the, well, trash beat debacle, you start to learn that there's a little bit more to Rio than you think, and it's something that's happened in her past. So other than the main cast, you also have many other characters, like Amo, who is a victim of and because of her being a victim of those things, she has the mindset of a child, and she never really grew up from that mindset, which is kind of sad. Then you got Goita, who is really into kaijus, Dear Santa, who is the youngest member of the cleaners. Don't worry, he has bro to protect them. I love this duo. And then you got Jabber. Look, he is a masochist and a crackhead, and I love him for that, alright? I will not be going any further than that. So when it comes to the cast of characters of Gachiakuta, it is so lively, and you can't help but pull you in. And it's mainly because of the differing personalities and what there is to a character. And not only that, there's also their character design. Look, I think we all can agree that Kei Orana's art style is so good. Oh my god, just look at this. Considering her inspiration was Soul Eater and street culture, it only makes sense for her to combine those two things for this manga. And boy, does it blend together so well. Like the brush strokes, the way the colors blend together, not to mention the way their pose is so dynamic. It looks like they're posing for like an album cover. Not to mention the graffiti that's done within the series as well. And that's thanks to Hideyoshi Ando, who works alongside Kei Orana when she needs graffiti artwork. Not only do the character designs look so good and appealing, but also the character expressions are so damn hilarious. Now don't get me wrong, I've seen many anime where there are different facial expressions to express how a character feels, but these are some of the most artistic and unique facial expressions I have ever seen, because Kei Orana just loves to exaggerate the features of the characters, whether that be in a very intense moment or just a goofy little drawing. It really gives the character a lot more life than you think it does. And that's what I really love about these designs. They give the characters life. And the reason why I believe that is because, well, let's take a series like One Piece into example. One Piece is the most cartoony looking anime you'll ever see, but if I'm being honest, I feel like that's more an advantage of One Piece than a disadvantage than most people would think. And the reason why is because now that your series kind of looks like a cartoon, you can have various amounts of expressions to convey certain emotions. Whether it's you being goofy, filled with rage, doing a funny expression, crying your eyes out, being shocked about something, or genuinely a face of, I can't believe I got myself into this. And that's what I feel like Gachiakuta does really well. It has faces of disgust, psychotic joy, blissful innocence, pure and furious rage. It has so many different expressions. I'm surprised Kei Orana hasn't run out of ideas for these expressions. And that's something I really love about the art style. But not only do I love the art style for expressions, I also love the art style for what it represents. It represents something that I've always been attached to at a very young age. And what it represents is culture. Now, a little history lesson about me. I grew up in New York for about 12 years before I had to move. But in those 12 years, it left a lasting impression on me. Because at a very young age, being in New York made me want to learn about different cultures. And that's mainly because I was traveling to different places like Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Staten Island. And yeah, make all the New York jokes you want about the rude people and the rats. I'm not gonna say it's not true. But whenever I went to these places, I always saw the sense of community within them and the different cultures that would shine through, whether it be restaurants or street fairs. Not to mention how artistically creative some people are, whether that be music, art itself, or even dancing. All of this shaped my interest into different cultures, whether that be race, religion, fiction, or a lifestyle. And to be honest, that's kind of the reason why I gravitated towards Gachiakuta so much, because it has one of my favorite types of culture, street culture. Like I said, growing up in New York, I got to see more and more of the city, meaning I got to see a lot more artistic liberties when it came to people. And I feel like Gachiakuta represents that beautifully, not only in its artwork, but in its atmosphere and characters as well. Everything doesn't look clean, it looks dirty, it looks unkept, but you see the artwork on the walls. You see the people hanging out together, doing their own things and liking what they like. It gives you the sense of they don't care about their surroundings. As long as they get to do what they love, that's all the happiness they'll need. And that kind of speaks volumes to me because, as you know, I'm black. You are? And seeing parts of my own culture being represented, it just gives me this sense of joy just watching it on screen. Especially in an anime series, because you know how rare that can be. So, that brings us to our conclusion. Why do I love Gachiakuta? Because it stands out from the crowd. It's loud, it's gritty, its artwork is ferocious, expressive, and creative. It reminds people what street culture is like no matter what country it is. It gives you a sense of community with the characters you're looking at. That's why I love Gachiakuta, and that's why I'll be supporting this series no matter what happens. So does that mean you're associated with the fandom? Associate me with any fandom and I'll be the last thing you do on this earth. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was really fun to talk about because the moment I saw episode 1 of Gachiakuta, I fell in love with it already. Also, tell me what you guys think about Gachiakuta in the comment section below. And if you want to see me talk about some of my other hyperfixations later down the line, then subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.